Seth is the hippie business guy. Like hippie guys are like, hey, write down your dreams and ambitions. Seth is, I just had a thought on how I could make this business better.
I'm glad, honestly, that you even put it that way because, man, I've been really having a hard time in between those two because the hippie and the business people, the business minded things, I mean, one causes a lot of internal conflict, but two, just to trying to find people that share kind of the same. There's not a lot of them. I feel like you're either kind of a greedy, just really motivated about money business person, which I hate, but I love the motivation to do things, or the hippie aspect, which I love of like just enjoying life, but they don't do anything. It's like, come on.
Living off the land, man.
My name's Seth. I own Sorrel and Smarter Solutions, where it's our goal to create the best job in America. I've been documenting the process of building these businesses, and now it's time to release that content in the order it was recorded. This video was recorded in 2021, and we've come a long way since then. We're now building an insurance agency, and we have a fully automated sales system for telesales agents. We have a lead generation system and a training course for new agents. Make sure you subscribe to see where it goes. How you been, man?
Oh, dude, same old. Been spent some time running around today, went to the mall, picked up some pops, and just kind of just chilling at the house today.
Yeah. Very nice. How does your dude, I want to know about this whole your freaking website store, your online store. Like what are your
Well, the thing is we did a lot of research on just finding something that we liked, and given the wife did more research than I did because she wanted to find like clothes, leggings, stuff like that, and then we started finding people that will just straight up drop ship and companies that just need someone to put their logo on it and get it to people. So we were like, okay, cool.
So maybe you can because I'm not even actually 100% sure what your store is. I looked at it a little bit, but I guess yeah,
it's
what
a
exactly?
hodgepodge, believe it or not. It started out as being just like clothes and makeup products, but
Clothes
now
and makeup.
Yeah. But
Okay.
we expanded out into like kids stuff and just randomness, to be honest with you. It's kind of like when you go to Walmart, you think you're going to go buy groceries.
Yeah.
And then you wind up in electronics and you buy a set of headphones. And then you wind up over in toys and you decide to buy a Nerf gun. It's one of those things where it's a website that will bring you in to look at one thing and you'll end up looking at 12. And if someone just buys one item out of there, it's a sale.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you look at it.
Yeah. So how did you go about deciding to do that? I mean, yeah, how the heck did you even, I mean, I know we've kind of already gone over this conversation, but just for the sake of, because what you're doing, I mean, actually, like, I guess for the podcast sake or whatever, I mean, like, the way that we know each other is we worked together right before COVID for only a short period of time.
Yeah, you tried to get me fired like twice.
I didn't try to get you fired, but you needed to get out of that job.
Oh yeah, no, that job was, I mean, for what it was, I mean, I've worked under a lot of bad people. I've worked under a lot of good people, and I've made a lot of mistakes. But for what it was learning experience. I mean, it's one of those things where I knew production. I knew how to do production. I could get it going and all that. But it became into, we're no longer doing production. We're chasing the ball.
Yeah.
And I was not very fond of chasing the ball.
Well, Phil was a great guy. I mean, and I think you guys had a great relationship, but like, man, you were
Yeah, you were not set up. Nobody was set up to succeed there.
Oh,
Nobody.
no,
You couldn't. It was a freaking death trap.
Oh yeah, no, it was definitely let's fly by the seat of our pants. Let's see what works and throw it to the wall. And if it sticks, you're good to go.
Yeah. And throw, yeah. So you stuck it out for a while through COVID, longer than I lasted. And then
you were there 2 weeks after COVID shutting everything down. And deuces, I'm gone. I think I'm sick.
Yeah, I did it. I got let go. Did you know that? I got let go.
Oh yeah, no, believe me, he shared all that information. I even got to read your email that you sent to him.
Yeah, I know. I'm surprised. Well, yeah, when he didn't respond to that, I was like, okay. Which I will say, that was such an amazing experience that I'm so glad COVID saved me from that.
Oh yeah, I stayed there about 6 months too long, is what I did.
How much longer did you stay after? How long did you stay into COVID? 6 months?
Last August. So you were out of there in
like April.
So
end of April, May.
Yeah, I was out of there August.
So you're saying you should have left?
Yeah. Well, it was one of those
right
things,
when I got there.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I mean, you came in and you saw the shit show that we were putting up with, and that's what led us to being where we are now. It's like I put in so much work, and if you're killing yourself for a job that refuses to do anything for you, and you'll know right up front of if you're going to get into a job that doesn't care about you, because every good thing you do, no one says anything, but the first time you break something or mess up, you get wrote up.
Yeah.
That's the epitome of a bad job or bad management. No jobs are bad. Managements can be awful.
Yeah. And I would say it doesn't matter what the heck the job is. I mean, I've worked in the sewage industry and it was fine because it was an easy job, because you worked for the government, but easy. But no, the thing is, after that job though, I think finding a good job is really difficult. And maybe you probably have a different experience. I mean, maybe a different experience than me. Like, you read the emails. I don't even remember what exactly I said to Phil, but I was like, I mean, it just was not okay with me. I like the situation. No. I was like, this is not.
Well, you got to also understand, it was like, I was there for 2 years. My starting salary was $3,800 or $38,000 a year.
Okay.
And I got bumped up to 42.
Yeah.
And they thought it was a huge bump. Yeah. And I'm like, that's extra $20 a paycheck type thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what
literally. Yeah. After taxes, especially. I was just thinking about Mikey and how, like, it was such a big deal.
I actually drove past there today.
Oh yeah.
I went to go pick up the PS5 today, and actually drove by there, and dude, so something I read the other day was you can tell the quality of job that you're working at by the cars parked in the parking lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
And believe me, dude, it looks like it's probably paying minimum wage right now. I mean, it's bad. And for back-breaking, like,
literally some of the hardest work you could possibly physically do, lifting weights.
Yeah. Literally. I mean, something people do to go get in shape, they're doing because they need to get paid.
8 to 10 hours a day.
Yeah. And it's not like, I'm going to go do a 2-hour workout. No, we're doing it 8 hours.
Yeah.
Sometimes 10 to 12.
Yeah.
And that's what I think that's what finally broke the straw for me, was the fact that everyone there thought it was a privilege to work there.
Dude, did you get a chance to watch those videos
that I sent you? I watched one of them before I got distracted. Not going to lie to you. I mean, PS5 is a little distracting.
That's okay. So it's funny that you use those exact words because it's just absolutely crazy to me. And after that experience, I was really a lot of the things that I believed solidified in my mind. But like the fact that he was like, I want loyalty, that's like the most important thing. And people to think that it's like a privilege to work a backbreaking job for hardly over minimum wage with with crappy benefits that you could lose in a heartbeat is like the core of what I think is wrong with America. Like, not laughing, there's a lot, but like this is why I think people need to quit their freaking jobs in situations like this. And when
Uh, so I'm all about the fact that appreciation wasn't there. Like, because you can get plenty of jobs where your manager will bend over backwards for you to do whatever you need to do. I mean, McDonald's, you can get a good manager at McDonald's that will be like, I will help you. I will take care of this. Don't worry about it. But then you can go work for the city or a union,
yeah,
and be drugged through the dirt by everyone on the crew. And that's I think that's the point of where you start looking at yourself going, do I want to work for myself, or do I want to put more money in someone else's hands for making my body hurt?
yeah,
I mean, you got telemarketers right now that are getting paid $18. I just saw a listing for one right now. $18 to cold call people. And that's hourly, that's not commission. To cold call people.
yeah,
And it's like, okay, but you have the dude that's in the warehouse that's getting paid $10.50 to move 50 to 100 pounds of packages.
yeah. And this is, and I really do think, and after working at that job, because that was my first experience of bigger, like kind of just larger departments kind of separated, but just seeing how the whole thing was kind of thrown together and just kind of run on the absolute minimum of everything all the time, always. Like try to suck and suck and suck and suck and suck and suck and suck as much out of people as you possibly can.
Well, that, and they tried to play the let's do the supply and demand type thing. And then when the floodgates hit for COVID, I mean, you got to understand, this is a company that bases all their products on, I mean, dumbbells, bars, weights, kettlebells, everything. And everyone, when COVID hit and the gym said no more, you had floods of people that were paying $40 a month and going to that gym twice a day that were like, okay, I need weight equipment. And we got flooded hard. And for a company that ran on, you know what, let's just keep 10 of these in stock. Well, that was no longer a convenience. You couldn't keep one in stock if you had the chance.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, this is where we get to in this, where we are now, is like, I got tired of being yelled at because we're out of one product because one person down the chain of command forgot to say something.
Yeah. Well, and it was really interesting too for me because I was in a situation that, I mean, Phil overshares about everything, but I was, kind of came in at kind of an up. He just didn't hold his tongue about anything or anybody, and it was so apparent. Like, I mean, I think he was a fine guy. Actually, he was a very inspiring guy, but
perfect person in a bubble. That he would tell you the truth known to him.
Yes and no. Yeah, no. I wouldn't necessarily go there. Like, well, no, I actually would not go there. I think Phil, the thing was, Phil was ready to cut anybody at any time. And And I mean, he did multiple times, and just seeing, like the capability.
Well, and you got to also remember is a lot of people in that company were very flip-floppy. I mean, you have Mikey that ended up taking over my role. When you were there, we were ready to fire him. Like we were ready to just go,
Well,
you know what? Don't come back.
You were ready to because this was honestly like this was amazing to me. The Mikey situation, and I think about this often. The fact that it was even a remote situation that this guy, he could not, he has so many kids, and like the amount of money that he needed to make, and like he made a decision that like, yeah, he basically immediately regretted. But the fact that this guy, that this was a big ordeal to give some guy who's been there for 2 years or whatever, a year and a half, who's the only other person in the entire company that could do this job, to give him up to $16 an hour, for that to be a big ordeal is BS. This is a multi-million-dollar company. And the fact that they even wasted the time having the conversations on if we should move this guy from $14 to $16 an hour is baffling to me. And honestly, the people that
it was really all about pinching that dollar. How much work can we get out of them?
Yeah.
I mean, I told you as of recently, Dennis quit.
Good.
And Felipe got fired.
Well, here's the thing. After seeing that, and after seeing COVID and a year into it, and a lot of like the thoughts, I am so excited for people to quit. I am so excited for people to quit their jobs. I'm so excited for all of the companies that are based on, that are run this way, that are run on absolutely the bare minimum wages that you can't even get, your people can't hardly survive. And there's going to be a massive flood, I think, of all these people quitting because.
Well, you can already see it in McDonald's. Well, not so much McDonald's. Burger King is getting hit hard. Sonic is getting hit hard. I mean, there's Burger King just announced they shut down over 15 different restaurants in one state because they had no employees to work it.
Good. Like for me, and like, because I know a lot of business owners too, and I've had this conversation with some of my family members, and for me,
family members.
No, I've had them with my aunt, and I've also have a lot of friends. I have a good close friend who owns a business too, but everybody's complaining about how you can't find workers right now. And I mean,
well, that's because we live in an age. So COVID opened up the floodgates to Amazon and direct to DVD or direct to stream and everything else. I mean, I went to the mall today, and do you know how? I mean, going to a mall on any given day is usually packed to the brim. You can't get a parking space. I mean, they have these giant parking lots to hold X amount of people. We were able to park 3 cars away from the door.
Yeah.
And 2 of those were handicapped. So this age of, I'm going to go to the store, I'm going to go buy this and have this physically in my hand. I mean, I'm going to go buy this today. I could just as easily get on Amazon and go, I want that, and order it. Yeah. Probably cheaper than what I paid for it at the mall.
Well, but I think also what COVID did, and this is kind of, why I think you in particular are like such a shining example of what I think people should do. And obviously, like you're still, I don't want to be like you've got it figured out, but the fact that what I see it as is like you're sitting there at a job, and I know what you were getting paid, and I know how much time you were putting in, and it was colossally unbalanced for what you were capable of, and you quit and started something that really doesn't seem to be, I mean, congratulations on your success, but it's not like it's very easily repeatable, and
Oh
you're
yeah, definitely.
such
I mean, it's one of those things
an
where if
amazingly
you,
different spot. Like,
oh yeah, no,
it's just-
if you do your research, I mean, we talked about this in the past. It's about what you can do and what you can't do, and being honest with yourself on that.
Mhm.
And I mean, it's kind of like I'm not going to go fly a plane because I don't know how to do that.
yeah,
Can I talk someone into buying a pen? I mean, everyone uses that example. Sell me this pen,
yeah,
and it's like, how about I sell you the ink to that pen? I mean, that's where we're at now. Is like, I'm done trying to sell you something basic. Let me try to sell you something a little different off the market.
yeah.
And I mean, that's what we did. Is we started with, you know what, everyone's selling clothes, but I've been on 3 different websites and I've never seen a website that does this. So we're like, okay, well, this company drop ships it.
Do you mind? What was that thing? If you don't mind,
At
I
the
mean,
time, it was those fidgets, the fidget popper things.
the spinners.
No, not the spinners. It's like a little board. I don't have one near me. It's like bubble wrap, but silicone bubble wrap. That's essentially what it is.
Okay.
And I mean, we've seen them on, like, the kids watch their little YouTube things.
Okay. Yeah.
And we saw those, but we found someone that drop ships them at 10 cents our costs. So we can sell them at $3 or $3 to the customer and make a ton of money on it. And they sell. We have at least 4 or 5 of them that sell daily.
Wow. Interesting. So yeah.
I mean, that's where it started, was just,
Mhm.
hey, let's start doing this. Let's find something random that no one else is, nothing mainstream is selling.
How long did it take you to get, once you started, like, your website set up?
It was a good 3 to 4 months. Like, we were behind on rent. That, I mean, we thank God for COVID. And I mean, I didn't
Yeah.
take unemployment. So with us being behind on rent, I mean, we got behind, I think 2-3 months. And then finally, after advertising, word of mouth, I mean, thank God my wife used to do paparazzi. I don't know if you know what paparazzi is.
I don't.
It's a company that you buy jewelry from, but they have stipulations of, you buy the jewelry from us for $237 and you have to sell it at $5.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't sell it for any more, just $5 straight.
Okay.
So thank God for that, because when she did that over 2 years ago, she had, I think, I could probably look at it, somewhere around 1,000 friends on Facebook. And then it just got advertised and advertised. And we have trackers now to see how many people click on that website a day. And it stays between 20 and 30 people.
What do you use to advertise?
I've done Facebook Marketplace to advertise. I've done, she has her own Facebook page now, and we've boosted
What is
that.
it? You should. Here's your, when this podcast gets huge, you can get flooded. What is it? What's your Facebook?
She has it as, I don't want to misspeak here.
Yep, I know, right? Give it to your competitor.
No, don't even, man. Where does she have it?
It's all right. I have faith that you can.
Okay, it is C Jazz Boutique.
Cool.
It C''JASS Boutique.
Cool. All right.
But yeah, no, she's been doing very well. And like I said, it took a minute to get everything going, but once it was going, we were running. And I mean, like now I'm currently, I just bought some soda machines.
Yeah, I know. That's awesome.
Uh,
Congrats.
I helped a buddy get his business up and going. So it's one of those things that it starts to snowball. And believe me, I'm looking into a car wash right now. I really want to buy a car wash, one of the manual ones, not I don't
Yeah. Pay
yeah
to go. Did I?
yeah
Yeah.
I like, believe me, I mean, here in Vegas it's hot, but going to wash your own car is one of the best feelings in the world that I still have to this day.
Yeah.
I mean, you get to do it yourself. You get to make sure you do it right. I mean, there's plenty of people that are picky, like, you know that antenna is going to fall off the second you go through.
Right. Why don't you just do more websites?
Because I've kind of, I like the idea of a website, but I also want security. I think
Yeah.
I think Stone and Brick does a lot for the world.
Okay.
And I don't think it's necessarily like a restaurant or something like that. I think giving a person the ability to do something themselves. I mean,
Okay.
Coke machines were like the number one thing. It's like, how many times have you gone to the gas station and bought a soda, but if you had one at like walking distance from your house and it was $3 cheaper, I mean, wouldn't you do it? I mean, I'm putting sodas in it at 50 cents a can compared
Really?
to, yeah, I mean, because 12 pack of soda. What's a 12 pack of soda cost? What, $4, right?
Mm-hmm.
You
I
go buy
guess.
that.
I don't know.
Yeah, you go buy that. Well, yeah, you healthy person. See,
God forbid.
God forbid you have a soda.
I
How much is your sparkling water, sir?
don't. Yeah, it's very inexpensive.
But yeah, no, it's one of those things where it's like you have so many realtors that are retailers. There you go, not realtors. Retailers that will jack the price up on something that if you bought at wholesale, and that's how you make a living.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, go down to Costco right now. You can buy a 24 pack of soda for like $1.50 if you buy enough of it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, that's where you're looking at is like, okay, I buy this much, I sell it this much. Same thing goes for like our website. I don't carry any inventory. I take that back. I carry a little inventory now that other stuff is starting to come up.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't have to carry it or if I don't have to supply it, that makes my life easy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, drop shipping was a no-brainer at that point. Now, we had to go through 3 different drop shippers now because a few of them wouldn't uphold their part of the deal. We had people ordering stuff that was like, I never got it. And we're having to check with the drop shipper and they're like, oh, yeah, that ticket's still sitting. It fell under a desk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that was over a month ago. No,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
But what about you? What are you doing?
Oh man.
I mean, you're just sitting there sitting with your thumb up your butt, it looks like.
Dude, yeah, you should watch. Well, if you watch those videos,
Oh my God.
Well, that's a big part of them. I mean, and they explain what I am doing because what I am trying to do is I've got this idea. I can't remember if I've talked to you about the whole. Yeah, I talked to you and read you
The
like the whole
book.
outline. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And it's what is that? What is that? Basically what I'm trying to do is like I have these ideas of how do I build a lifestyle that I enjoy?
Spit it out, boy.
Hey. Build a
I need
lifestyle.
an counter in the corner.
Hey, you. I can mute you. What am I working on right now? Basically trying to figure out how to not trade my time for money. I mean, that's that's the very small part of the making money part if you just want to go with that. And I have made a fucking ton of progress on it. And it really is. It's like it is. The book is part of it, but the book is actually just a great way to help me organize these thoughts that I'm having, because I've had this whole picture in my mind for a really long time of basically what I thought was a better way. Like there had to be a better way of doing things. And this is like COVID saving me from the job that we were at was like, yeah, no, good. This has absolutely convinced me 100% that like my concerns about this type of lifestyle are 100% justified. And so I basically made a few decisions at that point of just like, all right, I'm not doing these things. Like I decided and also accepted some of the things that I just knew were true about me, but like I'm not working for anybody again. I'm not working hourly. And there were just certain like lifestyles that were really important to me, like being healthy. And it just kind of got to this point where, you know, I don't know if you know this, but I've worked my first full-time job. I was 9 years old. Like I've been working since I was very young. I've worked.
I'm right there with you, man. Like we threw hay back in my day.
Yeah.
Like that was my first job, was getting paid a nickel a bale to toss hay.
And I didn't, yeah. And for me, it wasn't even like a job. Like this wasn't because I needed money. Like I just worked because my father owned the business. So I just worked all the time, working for work's sake, just to do work.
I mean, you got to have a hobby, right?
Yes, you do have to have a hobby very much outside of work. And so like when COVID hit and, you know, I just got let go of the job, which was great. Cause I was like, yeah, this is such a shitty scenario that we're in. And like, if I continue to go about this, trying to like kind of half be in and out the rat race, like it's never going to work. So I'm just done with the rat race and I'm not ever going to look back. And there are certain things that I want to achieve and certain lifestyles that I want to achieve that are only going to be, I mean, they're big. Like I finally have been able to accept that there are large things that I want to do. And there's a lifestyle that I want to live that doesn't have much to do with the amount of money that I have, but has to do with the amount of time and what I get to do with my time. And so I'm working on prioritizing that. And one of them has been like health, which has been incredibly important, I think, especially through COVID and all of this stuff.
Dude, the world's going to end in like 20 years. I'm here for a good time, not a long time, sir.
No, yeah, and I am too. Trust me. And that's kind of where I'm at, is like I am too. And so like as far as some of these ideas, like real estate, you were talking about you wanted to own things.
Yeah, I mean and I mean we've had this conversation in the past about renting out homes and all that. That's why I've moved away from housing and moved more into, hey, how about I've thought about laundromats. Oh my God, the amount of people that you get to see. I mean, TikTok's one of them. It comes across a lot for me on TikTok of these guys that own laundromats going and doing coin pullouts and making $700 in a weekend.
Yeah.
And
there's, see, and
yeah,
the thing is, and I've kind of gone down that rabbit hole a lot, the entrepreneurial thing and the passive income business. And part of this whole idea, the exponential income idea is, I guess, also a kind of a specific set of restrictions or qualifications on how to make money. And like after running my own business, doing the machine shop, having done contracting, and then working for that company, there are a few things that are absolutely, in my opinion, incredibly important that I think were never available before. And as far as a business, I think eliminating as much capital and overhead as possible is a beautiful thing. So, so that's kind of why I was asking, like, why get away from your website when you literally have like no responsibility, no moving parts, like everything is delegated. But when you move into like some of these other businesses, like because those
It-
machines are gonna break.
honestly, the website is great.
Mhm.
Don't get me wrong. Like you said, there's to the point where there's nothing to do.
Yes. Yes.
I'm at that point of there's nothing to do.
Oh,
Like we still make appearances and do but there's 24 hours in a day. So, what do you fill your time with?
uh-huh.
I've thought about several things. Like I thought about picking up a welder and then start making go-karts in my garage.
Mhm.
Like I've thought about a ton of stuff. And it's one of those things where you get on a schedule and you start figuring out like, okay, well, on my schedule for this week, I only have 5 hours of time that I have to dedicate to anything.
Mhm.
So what do you fill the rest of the time with?
Mhm.
And for you, it's easy. I'm going to go on a 3-week hike and I'll come back and deal with it later. We know what you're doing, but I am a family man. I do have kids. I do have a wife. So to get out of the house and do stuff is awesome, but at some point you want to do something else. And that's where we're at to this point. If you talk about someone that's going to a 9-to-5 job, they have little to no time to spend doing anything else.
Mhm.
And it's finding out what they can do in that little bit of time that can essentially profit money, and where it doesn't really cost them anything in the long run. I have friends now through the internet that will right now I bought a PS5 today. I didn't pay retail. I paid an upcharge for it. But the dude that had it, he has 7 of them sitting in his garage because he set up a bot for every single website that sells them. And when they go in stock, he buys them. So he's a little bit degenerate, but he still works 9 to 5. He works at Wendy's,
Mhm.
but he does this on the side. And he doesn't do anything with it. It just shows up.
So, okay, speaking to that point, because finally with this, because really this you asked me what I was doing, and it is exponential income. And part of this idea though starts with because honestly, I feel like your situation isn't necessarily all that uncommon. Is once you get money taken care of, all of a sudden it's kind of like, okay. Because a lot of times I think people put a lot of not emphasis, but like it occupies so much time. And with a couple of simple moves, not saying that I've necessarily accomplished this, but like, okay, you put a couple things in place and it's like, all right, you have a lot of money. But I've also known a lot of people that have a lot of money that are freaking absolutely miserable.
But it's because they don't know what to do. And believe me, there was a point I was very depressed. Like we had all this money. I bought what I wanted and I got the family where we wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
But it was either we didn't have enough money to do the big extravagant thing, or we already had everything we wanted.
Yeah.
And then you start running out of stuff you want to do. And that's the thing is like, I played video games a lot. A lot. But
bro. Good. I'm glad we're having this talk.
You're straight dog water.
No. I'm glad we're having this talk because you need to hear the shit that I got to say to you. Because here's the thing. Is I think a big part of this that I think a lot of people miss that I do, which was I was lucky to, after COVID, finally kind of sit down and, man, I actually had to sit down and figure out what I wanted my life to actually look like, and not just the money thing. Like the money thing is a part of it, but it really is not that big. I think for a lot of people, And so what a big part of this before it even comes, I mean, I know the name is exponential income, but actually it has so much to do with kind of a lifestyle of like, hey, what do you want your life to look like? Because a lot of things people I think go on these tangents, and you can succeed in making money, or you can succeed in getting a good physique or whatever.
Well, it's kind of like so I've been really looking into the lottery. I've been watching a lot of the documentaries of lottery winners,
Mm-hmm.
and how they're like, within 1 to 3 years, they're usually dead or broke.
Yeah.
And I think the big issue is the fact that if I gave you $1 million right now, the first 20 items that you spend it on, you really don't need. And then the next 10 after that is something that you can use, but is not necessary. And then after that, you start looking at how much is left. And I think that's the issue, is you get these people. I mean, it's a 16-year-old getting his first check. And he's like, I'm going to go buy candy and chips because mama won't let me buy them off of her card.
Mm-hmm.
Or you have the other 16-year-old that's like, gets his first check and he's like, oh, the new pair of Jordans dropped Friday. I can resell them for $300 on Thursday. Or on the following Thursday. So there's that slight chance of people that are looking for a reason. And it's like, do I really need this PS5? No, I don't need it. Did I buy one? Yeah, I bought it. And half the reason is you can see right there. Hold on. Right over there is an empty spot. And that's where it'll be hanging against the wall. It evens out my wall. That's basically the reason we have it.
Great. Good. Okay. But to that point, because I really do think that there is something to like what you just said, as far as, these people go and buy the snacks or whatever. And I think a 16-year-old, I don't know if that's a great example.
Dude, I have a 14-year-old
Mm-hmm.
that she's making her own money. She draws wolves online and sells the drawings to people, making her own money. She's at the point where when she first started making the money, she'd go to Walmart with us and she'd spend $40 on beef jerky, chips, candy.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. I'm not talking. Okay. 16-year-olds are not the people I'm talking about. Like, there's a different thing. You don't have any. Okay.
Well, you can't leave the 16-year-olds out. I mean, dude, for the generation we are now, I mean, seeing my daughter and seeing her friends and them thinking of businesses because, one, they're not 16 and they can't go get a real job, or let's say real job, because we all know what that is.
Yeah, that's good. Good. Avoid the real jobs.
But
they're all going away.
She's looking for ways to make money. And dude, today she was like, I need to cash out my PayPal. And she had $300 sitting in her PayPal.
Nice.
And I'm like, what?
Nice. Good for her. But as far kind of coming back to this, I want to go back to you. I really do think one of these things, as far as, you say that you're bored and you just want to, you want to buy these businesses to do things. Like, do you have an idea of, do you have a design? Do you have like a lifestyle?
Like, where do we go from here type stuff?
And not yet, not as far as plans or goals, but like, do you ever sit back and just kind of design like what your epic life, your ideal life? I mean, I know it sounds pretty ridiculous,
but the thing is, like, okay, so I'm not keeping up with the Joneses. I care less what my neighbors have compared to me.
Totally.
My biggest thing is I want my kids to be able to do stuff I didn't.
Yeah.
And the other thing is like, we're right down the street from a water park. and we haven't took them there yet, but I want to be able to go like every Saturday type thing.
Mhm.
And I mean, water park, it's not very expensive, but that's where I'm at, is like
Mhm.
$100 to take them to that water park. Woo.
Yeah,
But for some people, they can't do that weekly.
totally.
And that's the thing, is like, I want everything that I do or that I can do, I want to do it and have it done before I have to go, type of thing. I mean, let's not get morbid and talk about me dying.
Oh,
'cause,
okay. Oh, that.
yeah, I mean, I'm running out of time as is. Was that 7 minutes off your life for every cigarette? I think
Oh, you're still sucking those things down. Huh?
Dude, I have a vape. I have a vape.
Nice.
I just haven't been using it.
Hey, I want to show you. Hold on a sec. I gotta scoot back. I'm gonna take these off. But hold on one sec.
My ears, that hurt. That's one dirty whiteboard.
So you asked me what I've been doing. What childish thing did you say while I was gone?
Dude, are you really having to climb up onto your chair?
Is this a standing chair? This is a standing desk.
Oh, no, you want to see standing desk. Like, keep on going.
Well,
I'll show you standing desk.
Okay. Well, just show me what you're gonna show. Are you?
Oh, it's going.
You've got one of the. Oh, okay. Are you gonna stand?
I can. Once it gets up there, you can still see me, right? We're going vertical now.
Yeah.
Bird's eye view.
I mean, you're getting out of the. You're falling away. Yeah. There you go. No, this is also. See, this is just on the same.
Oh, I just forget you're short as shit.
I am short as shit. But yeah, this is a standing desk. Okay, so you asked what I was doing, and actually these things right here are like, this is actually a huge accomplishment for me. Was I actually have organized almost all of my thoughts, like you saw that outline, but not just for that book. That I actually have been able to organize kind of my thoughts and my plans, and then actually write out plans to accomplish what I want. Do you not have a printer? Oh, I do. I do have a printer, but I write hand. There's something therapeutic about handwriting things for me.
Hold on. Do you have like an expensive pen that you write it out? Not this ain't a hit at you. I know people that like to write, and they're like, "Oh, I gotta have my $80 pen with me," and I'm like, why?
No, there are certain types I don't. There are certain pens I like better than others, but no particular one. I like the cheapest ones write the best. But no, there's something therapeutic about me handwriting things down. And these are all typed out anyway.
Writes it down, then types it out.
But so this is actually, I think, for me personally, and I think for the people that will at least agree with, what I'm wanting out of life, having an actual plan, I'll tell you what, man, has been such a crazy place in my life, because never in my life I was like, okay, I actually have all these thoughts of what I want out of life, and I've categorized them into like wants, needs, long-term this, but it's like, okay, pretty well organized and not too much, and then prioritize them, and then like steps to get there, and then a plan to do so. And it's like such an it relieves so much just kind of stress, and just like so much not even stress, but like so much just kind of monkey brain running around, because I don't keep thinking about this. Like I have an ideal life I've already designed, and I am actively putting the steps forward every single day. And it's a freaking very cool feeling.
I think if you had asked me where I wanted my life like 3 years ago, I would have had a better answer for you.
Mm-hmm.
but that's why, I mean, and as of now, it's constantly changing. Of like, it's not wanting to buy the new bigger TV, or like I got into fish tanks, dude. I have a 55 and a 75. I have a 20 gallon and a 10 gallon, and it's because it's something that I never had growing up. I mean, my kids, my daughter and my wife both have poodles, brothers, and they love dogs. I love dogs too, but I'm more of like, leave me alone until we're ready to play fetch type person. I mean, it's just because I'm not overly affectionate with animals. I mean, not in general. I mean, I'll joke with you all day, but I mean, dogs are cool and all, but I mean, I hate cats with a passion.
Cats are awesome, man. Cats are right in their own respects.
They're not.
I have the
cats
coolest
are the
cat living
assholes
outside.
of the pet world.
No, that's not true. I don't agree with that. Some of them are, but some dogs are. I got bit by a freaking dachshund the other day.
Did you deserve it?
No, he was a little. I asked his owner. I was like, "Is he friendly? Can I pet him?" And he was like, "Yeah." And he snapped at me.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have, if you've ever heard, dogs are great judges of character. There you go. Even the dog didn't like that.
That's why you don't have one.
Oh, my dogs love me.
Yeah,
I mean,
Your dogs?
Oh, sorry. My daughter in the background saying your dogs.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Yeah. What you're saying, you don't know what you want to
it's-
do with your life.
Yeah, it changes like
and
every 6 months. I wouldn't say like every month, or like every 6 months. It changes to, do we want to do this, as in like save up to buy a home or anything else, or do we want to go and have a night out on the town? I mean, it's like, do I want to keep up with the Joneses, or do I want to do my own thing? And half the time it's doing my own thing. I mean, I haven't got to tell you this. I've been thinking so hard about building a log cabin.
Why?
Why not?
Because I mean, a log cabin is great, but it's like it is so much work for a dwelling.
Well, yeah, but it's, I mean,
which is great.
When was the last time you heard someone? When was the last time you heard someone say, "My granddaddy bought or built this house with his own bare hands"?
Honestly, I know a lot of people like that. I grew up in the country. I know people that built their own log cabins, and they're like, "This is so much work," because they settle for decades. They dry out for decades. You have to. I don't even know what the heck it's called, but you got to.
It's called mudding.
Yeah, every freaking year. And it's cool. They're great, but unless I was going to go to Alaska and just fall the trees right there.
Dude, my wife and daughter have been like trying to talk me into moving to Alaska. I think they want to go. They say it's so pretty. I'm like, it's cold.
It's only cold in winter, and it's
still cold.
Yeah, cold. Move. So here's the thing, man. Okay, so actually what I would tell you, because I'll say this, and maybe we'll record this and you can look back on it, but you're in the one part, I think, what you were just talking about, how you and your wife are kind of like figuring out what you want to do. That's in one aspect of this. It's kind of like the wander, which is awesome and great, because what this is a kind of a different way of looking at things. This isn't just like, I don't think, as far as like what I'm trying to do, one straight path. I mean, that was never going to work out for me. And even that mentality, that visual never even remotely represented how I thought life was going to go.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you've talked about your past life on here, but I mean,
this is number 2, man. I haven't talked about anything in this.
Oh, okay. I mean, you talk about the way you grew up. I mean, let's start there. I mean, between both of us, the way we grew up. I mean, your father owned his own machine shop. And I mean, on my end, my family's always done odd jobs.
Mhm.
And I mean, we're both in the same point right now. And I love how everyone brings up the fact that, oh, it was how I was raised, or 9 to 5 is what you have to do out of my family, or every 16-year-old gets their first job at McDonald's or Sonic or whatever. And it's no longer that's not the plan for anyone anymore.
It can't be. It cannot be. It's not going to work out. Like, that's really why this has kind of become so important to me. Like, after I kind of fell in line, that the job that I worked with you was my first ever, like, fuck it, I can't do this myself. This is too fucking hard. Everybody's like, you just fall in line and get a good job. So that's exactly what I did. And then it ended up not terribly. It ended up great, really. But like, as far as it just ending, I was like, no, this is total bullshit. And we have to, honestly, the reason this is so, I'm impassioned about this is because we can't. Our generation, if we continue to do that, we're fucked. There's no way we're going to have any half decent life, because the way that things are going, it is not going to work. And this is, honest to God, it was my personal plan. And I think that some people can get value out of it, but it's like, no, it's not going to work. The shit path that was laid out for us, and I even did the fucking bachelor's degree in business and all of this stuff. And it's, worthless. It was an absolute joke.
No, and I mean, one of the funniest things I've seen as of lately is like entrance jobs, like coming in. Oh, you need 2 years of experience plus a bachelor's degree.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's not an entrance job. That's a job.
Yeah, that's I was supposed to pay like this for all of this crap, and so this is legit why I'm like, I don't think everybody should quit your jobs, but I do think first you should eventually, but I really think first is like figure out what you want out of your life, because I think people are even afraid to, because I feel like people are afraid to even daydream anymore, because the future has looked so bleak for such a long time.
I mean, see, COVID did a lot of good things. I mean,
I agree.
I mean, we feel bad for everyone that's had to deal with some sort of loss.
Yes.
But
of course, I'm talking, yeah.
But I mean, in general, it's done a lot of good things. I mean, the OnlyFans, my dude, OnlyFans.
That's it. I mean, there's
overnight millionaires.
Yeah. Totally.
Overnight millionaires. Your high school teacher probably has a OnlyFans right now.
I can guarantee you there's some kinky folk out there.
See? But I mean, that's the reality we live in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things is we were stuck inside for so long.
I think I totally agree with you, but maybe just let's not use OnlyFans. How about like,
I have to use this as just like, these are people that
TikTok.
I mean,
let's
TikTok,
use TikTok
pays out a lot of people.
Yes,
too.
Let's just say TikTok, because you don't have to sell your body.
Okay. Well, no, dude, OnlyFans isn't just for that. See, you went that way.
It's not just for that. It is 97%.
I mean, it is what it is. But no,
let's be honest here.
Well, I mean, look at YouTube. How many new YouTube channels have you seen in the past year?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
100. Yes.
Everyone got cabin fever, sitting at home, twiddling their thumbs. Even though unemployment was hitting banks, it wasn't enough for a lot of people.
See, I look at it a little bit different, I think what people happened, I mean, I think it's a lot of both. So I don't think that you're wrong at all. But for me, what I think kind of happened was people realized this is not going to work out for me. Like, I cannot, not just that, like, there are way better opportunities. Quite frankly, man, going back to our job when we were working, I was one of the only people in that freaking business that it made sense to stick around because I was getting paid enough. Everybody that stuck around that could have been given the unemployment and the extra money should have taken it. But there's this really like odd
Well, that's where we got to.
mentality.
That's where we get to the point of loyalty to that job. I mean,
No, see, I don't think it's loyalty. I think the economy has gone to such a place that people are so scared and people are so run down that people are like, holy shit,
oh yeah,
I have to hold
okay,
on to this shitty
let's
ass
say
job.
fear. Let's say fear.
Yes.
Some of it was loyalty in that place, but fear.
Yes.
Fear of not having this job
Yes.
when it was over with, or
Ye-
fear of if I call out sick, they're going to yell at me or write me up or something like
or
that.
fire you like they did me.
But yeah, no, it was one of those things where it was so much. I mean, you see that in jobs today is, I would like to take vacation. Well, when do you want to take vacation? Oh, this day, and this day. It's like, oh, I can't give you all 3 days.
I know.
And it's like, good for you. I'm gonna call in sick on that Friday.
Yeah. No,
I
and
mean-
this is what I mean is, well, I mean, and this is part of it is I think people finally realize, and they had that tiny little opportunity to be like, hey, there are way better opportunities for me to make money. I can do OnlyFans, or I can do TikTok, or I can do anything. I can start a web page, but to go back to a $16 an hour job that are just, you know, that are going to treat you like absolute crap. Like, people realize that they're not, this is what I think is going on. People have realized they don't have to put up with that bull crap. There are too many good
no.
opportunities these days.
I mean,
This is why we have a labor shortage, and it makes me happy, honestly.
well, at some point, the labor shortage will start affecting a lot more people than we want it to. But for now, yes, it really wakes a lot of people up.
And let me clarify, like, the labor shortage is not, I'm not saying I'm happy for it, because I think it's one of these growing pains this country has to go through. It's not going to be fun or pleasant, but I think it's an absolute necessity.
I mean, look at lumber, the price of lumber as of lately. Oh my God.
Yep.
And then you have lumberjacks that are like, oh, we're not getting paid anymore to cut these. We're not getting extra money for this. Or you look at the mills going, I'm still paying or getting paid 25 cents a foot or whatever it is at the time to cut these.
Yeah. I will just say on that, there is a little bit more just on that particular story, because I live in that area, and a lot of these lumber producers lost a lot of inventory last year.
Well, yeah, I understand that.
And a lot of these loggers, a lot of these fallers are cutting down dead trees. So like, they're not, and they're burnt trees, so you can't send these to the mills. So there is a big shortage, but no, it's one of these precursors to, like, shit's
do I
coming
need to
down
get
the
you a
pipeline.
fidget toy, my sir?
Yeah, I know. I generally do need something.
I'm gonna get you some super glue for you, glue your hands to your damn desk.
I know, man. Well, I'm not used to, like, I've been working at home by myself on a computer, and I didn't exercise today. I've been rock climbing, but I've been going too hard and my hands are like jacked up. So I didn't even walk today. So, and this gets
Pamela
me,
Anderson's a little sore.
this stuff gets me fired up.
But yeah, no, and I mean, let's go back to the way we grew up. I mean, we're roughly the same age, correct?
Yeah. I'm 32.
Yeah, I'm 30. So yeah.
Okay.
I mean, us growing up back then, we fell in that perfect time zone of we saw the pagers.
Yeah.
And we saw the first cell phones.
Yep.
And
we saw nothing. We saw the first computers.
Yeah, we first saw the first computers.
First home computers.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But now you're sitting there and we're in an age. I mean, we're 25,000 or 2,500 miles away from each other, roughly.
No, I don't think that far.
Yeah, I think so. Well, it depends. From Vegas to Lebanon is like 1,800 miles.
I'm closer than Lebanon, so.
But either way,
Yeah,
I mean, and we're having a conversation.
Totally.
Video.
Yep. No, and this is the thing. I mean, and it goes to like a lot of different things too, a lot of topics as far as like, don't go to school, don't get a college degree right now.
No. So I'll stop you there. Don't go to school for something that you can learn on your computer at home.
Don't go to school.
There's
I
plenty
mean, well,
reasons to go to school.
like what?
And I think that's where we lost the aspect of like schools and colleges is the personal interaction with people.
Yes.
And I don't think you should pay $25K a year or a semester to go to a hot college.
Mhm.
I never thought that was right. But if you're going to college for engineering, I mean,
Yes, there are the few programs that always come up, engineering, doctors, accountants, and that's fine. But the other
but if
thing
you're going for like a business degree,
for any degree right now,
yeah.
I mean, unless even like a teaching degree, like teaching is going to be totally different in 10 years. Like right now, I think hopefully it better be our education system sucks.
Well, our education system sucks due to what we believed at the time our children needed to know versus what now. I mean, standardized testing is going away as we see it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's slowly creeping out.
Because because the people that had to go through it are now like 15, 20 years to do adulthood. And it was like, all this crap you tested us on was worthless.
Yeah, exactly.
Worthless.
So
and my kids do not need to know cursive writing because you know how much like
oh dude, that one still bugs me. I spent 4 years learning cursive and doing it right. And now they don't even teach it anymore.
No, all of that crap. And that, yeah. And I really think that we're at a really special place. I really do think our generation has to be the ones because we were at that precipice of we went from not having all of this stuff to having all of this stuff.
I mean, I heard someone say it the other day. You can learn more on the internet in a day than you can in a year of school.
Yeah. I mean, yes, you could. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you went down the rabbit, I mean,
Mhm.
how many times do we get lost down rabbit holes on YouTube and start learning stuff that we don't need to know?
I love it. Yeah. No,
So
yeah. And this is it's a lot of what I'm talking about.
but
and this is-
I think self-education is a good thing. I really do. Research, the drive to do it yourself is what's needed out of a lot of people. I mean, that believe me, I get lazy. I mean, right now I have boxes that I still haven't unpacked, and I've been here for almost a month now.
Oh, you just got to that place?
Oh yeah. We just moved in. I mean, it looks good.
Nice.
But
it does look good.
Yeah, I got all my pops up and all
I
that.
know. You.
Oh, dude, it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse. But but self-education and motivation. And I think the big thing nowadays is money's not a motivator anymore.
Mm-mm.
Making that dollar is not a motivator.
Right.
Having to eat is a motivator. Needing to go down the street to hang out with friends is a huge motivator for the certain people.
Yep. Totally.
So
and this is
what motivates you right now?
me?
Yeah.
Dude, 100% getting this, like what we're talking about right now, getting this idea out of exactly what you're talking about I really think there are some major changes that need to happen that are happening, but like exactly what you're saying is I think that people need to stop and like reprioritize things. And I'm kind of on this huge mission of trying to implement these ideas. I mean, that has to be number one, but two, for the people that these resonate with, which I mean, you're saying literally, you just said like 3 bullet points that are actually in that outline that I sent you of like self-educating, learning how to learn, and these types of things. I am so passionate about learning how to control my own income and designing my own life.
Yeah. And I mean, the other thing is staying on top of it. I'll give you a perfect example right now. So I have a hat on right now for this reason. I am blonde, my dude.
Whoa. Nice. What did that? You legit, I feel like you could be on the cover of a 1995 band right now.
Oh,
Actually, I
dude,
think
straight
you are.
up.
In
Straight
sync.
up.
That's exactly what I'm thinking about.
But
You're
no,
totally in sync.
I bought, I was going to do my hair blue. So I bought a dye kit and everything to do my hair blue. I haven't done the blue part of it yet. I bleached my hair like 2 weeks ago and I still haven't done the blue. The blue dye is actually sitting right there on that little halfway right there. But
okay.
I mean, it's the motivation. I had the motivation to get bleached.
Yeah.
But I lost interest.
Yeah.
And
So-
I just haven't put the blue in it yet.
So what motivates you?
No,
No, you said you're not motivated. Like,
yeah, right now I got little to no motivation except getting out of the house. Dude, getting out of the house is like my number one right now.
okay, I wanna ask you a totally different question, because kind of what I was trying to get at earlier, but it's like, okay, what do you want out of life? I mean, and I know that's kind of, I don't expect you to be able to like boom, but I really think,
And that's the thing is like, like I said, if you asked me that 2 years ago,
but I didn't. I'm asking you that
I
right
would have
now.
been like, I want my own business. I want to do this.
Well,
I wanna do
bro, how could you possibly be motivated? I mean, this is kind of, and I'm not dogging on you, but like, this is honest to God, like the thing that I'm really passionate about is, man, you've got this time now and so many things have changed. It's like, dude, why would you be motivated? You don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, what I would encourage, and this is like totally step one, is fucking sit down. Like you said, you knew 2 years ago. I guarantee you there is shit in there that you know what you want. It's just,
well, it comes down now to what do I want to do, and less about what I need to do, because my needs have been taken care of by, well, okay, let's rephrase this. My needs, as far as I got to pay rent,
your financial needs.
Financial needs in general have been taken care of.
Yep.
So what needs do I have? And other than family, like family time, dude, is a big thing. I mean, would you being you and me being me, family's huge.
Yeah.
Huge. But it's also like, I want me time.
You want time. You want your time.
Yeah.
You want to be able, okay, but okay. I guess I'm not really asking the questions exactly right.
Well, I get where you're going of like, what's my next step, or where's my end point? Where's the retirement at?
It's actually funny you use that, because this is strictly designing a life with no retirement.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's going to be a point that the bubble bursts for either one of us.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, just in general, take any idea you have and someone's going to try and burst your bubble at some point.
They've been doing that my entire life. I've decided to say fuck them now and only listen to the people that agree with me.
But I don't agree with you that much. No, I'm messing with you. But no, you're going to find these people that are just like, I don't like your idea. I don't like this. I don't like that. And it's like, okay, fine. And now I'm to the point where it's like, when someone goes, I don't like the fact that you sell this. And
yep, that's
you
why
don't
I'm
have
at.
to buy it.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. And I honestly, like, I wasn't really kidding on that last point. Is like, everybody is going to burst. I mean, I wasn't really kidding about that. Like, so me writing a book and you laughing at that, that's a pretty common reaction. Like, I'm used to that.
No. I laugh at it less about the fact that you're writing a book. I laugh at it because I know you, and I know I've read the pips on or the bullet points on the book, and I think it's funny that someone of your caliber, I'll build you up a little bit. Someone of your caliber is going, I want to help everyone and write a book. And it's like, okay. And that's why we're doing the podcast right now, is the fact that I'm like, why would you write a book when you can just give it away for free?
Oh, totally. I'm trying to. And so the book part, really honest, the book part is to organize my thoughts. And also, I mean, writing a book is a great way to make money.
And for those that don't know, Seth loves his whiteboards. And his sticky notes.
Do you see? I have 2 whiteboards behind me. I don't have any sticky notes, but I have at least 5 notepads within an arm's reach, all designated for certain things.
Seth writes Seth is the hippie business guy. Like, hippie guys are like, hey, write down your dreams and ambitions. Seth is, I just had a thought on how I could make this business better. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Or something of that nature. Or why isn't anyone trying this, and writes it down. Yeah. He is very much that person.
It's funny that I'm glad, honestly, that you even put it that way, because, man, I've been really having a hard time in between those two, because the hippie and the business people, the business minded things, I mean, one causes a lot of internal conflict, but two, just trying to find people that share kind of the same. There's not a lot of them. I feel like you're either kind of a greedy, just really motivated about money business person, which I hate, but I love the motivation to do things, or the hippie aspect, which I love, of like just enjoying life, but they don't do anything. It's like, come on.
Living off the land,
man. It's like, you gotta. So like, I'm not trying to help everybody. I'm trying to help the people that are like, I actually wrote it down earlier today. It's like the people that don't want to worry about money, because that's where I'm at. It's like, I don't need a lot of money. That's not even a goal. I just never want to worry about it. And it seems like the best way to do that is to have a lot.
Not exactly. It's kind of like you want that monthly paycheck. And I say monthly, my kids are going crazy.
No, it's great. It's good.
I say monthly paycheck because that's the thing, is like, once a month you have to pay all your bills. Mm-hmm. It's either the 1st, the 15th, the 31st, whatever. You have to pay all your bills. And if someone gave you a check, regardless of what you're doing, you could be telling jokes online, you could be on TikTok, but if someone goes, hey, here's enough money to take care of all your expenses plus $300 for a single person like you. It's like, oh, rent and lights and everything else is paid for, and I got $300 extra, and I don't have to worry about anything. Mm-hmm. And include food in that. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's where everyone wants to be in this day and age. It's like, but you don't have anyone that's going to hand you that money. So you need to find a way that money makes itself.
Well, and here's the thing, man. It's amazing. Like you did. Yeah, that's great, because I think you just hit the nail on the head. And that's exactly kind of, the first step for me is to try to get to that point. And I really do feel like I have a little bit of background in the business area. And I think that now it is so freaking easy to really make that money little bit by little. You don't have to make a huge commitment, but you can go and do, like, I know you said you took a big jump and like it took you a couple of months, but like I have this little product. It's a really, you don't have pets, but it's a very cool kind of like pet insurance.
I have 2 dogs and a ton of fish.
Dude, you should look into this thing. Well,
do you have fish insurance?
Are they exotic?
They're angel fish.
Okay, so it's not insurance. It's a financial It is a super badass financial tool. It's a financial account that you can make quite a bit of money on money that you have to spend for vet bills or anything like related to the vet.
Okay.
It's a very cool thing, but you keep your money. You can actually almost double your money if you let it grow for the whole 3 years. It's a super cool thing. Very simple to set up. And that's actually my plan. I was hoping to kind of do it today and yesterday, but I'm going to set up a little landing page for that.
Priorities, sir. Priorities.
I've got my priorities. Great. Your interview is more of a priority.
Interview? What?
I know. I don't know
I
what
get
to
a
call
job
these.
after this?
Yeah, I've worked for you. You don't want a job. I mean, you whatever. Yeah.
Shut up.
Oh, but no. No. So what I was saying is like, so with that, my plan is I want to just get a little landing page and maybe several of them because I'm set up that I can get commissions off of them. But like, if I just set this aside, do maybe 3 or 4 days of work, I'm hoping to maybe get, maybe a couple $100 a month or something like that. But then you do that and then it's like, okay, well, you've gained a little bit of your time back in money value. And now you can create another one of these. Like Tim Ferriss is an author I really, really like. He wrote The 4-Hour Workweek and a couple other great books, but he has a term called muse businesses. And that's kind of what I just described is something, and your website would be a great example, like something you put time into once or a little bit, and now it's just done. And now it's just making you money, and you might have to maintain it a little bit or, and you can kind of make it grow or whatever.
Well, yeah. And it also gets to that one point of like, how could I put it? How much is your time worth?
Yeah. I mean,
and let's not kid ourselves. That's the other thing is like, no way in hell is 30 minutes of Seth's time worth $500.
I mean, if you're trading time for, if you're measuring it in only trading your time for money, I mean,
yeah, no.
What are you getting at? I guess I should before I.
Yeah, well, it's like, so my daughter's doing resin, and
probably should not anything you smoke.
No. Polyurethane resin,
cool.
molds.
Cool. Okay.
And a mold for her will set up for 24 hours and all this extra stuff. You have wait times and all that. But her prep time is 20 to 30 minutes to get everything poured and done and set it off on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things of how much does that cost you? And it's like, how much is 30 minutes worth to you?
Mm-hmm.
If 30 minutes is only worth you doing something that would essentially make you $5, 30 minutes is only worth $5 to you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're doing something that can essentially make you $300, 30 minutes is worth $300. And it's finding your self-worth of like, what can you do in 30 minutes? And less about, oh, well, my job pays me $17 an hour. Do you do $17 worth of work in an hour? Or do you do more?
Yeah, well, you definitely do more if you're getting paid that.
I mean, if you're doing, or let's use McDonald's. McDonald's workers get hit so hard. And I hate it. And don't get me wrong. I'll tear up a Big Mac, but
you really?
Yeah, all day. But no, McDonald's workers, you look at a guy that works at McDonald's during rush hour between dinner time.
Mm-hmm.
That dude's getting paid $7.50, $7.50 to $8, depending on where you live in the world. And he's probably pumping out $30 worth of work an hour.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Because he and that's where it's like he is worth $30, but they're going to pay him 10.
Okay, yeah. So this, I want to probably try to explain to you this maybe longer thought, but I came across this term like 2 days ago that was really, really awesome because it had already described like kind of a thought that I was kind of having a hard time really articulating. But you know what ROI is, right? Return on investment.
Yeah.
So this is ROTI, return on time invested. And that's like been something that I think is really a huge, huge part of the ideas that I have as far as the exponential income part of this is the ability that the time is your absolute, without question, most valuable thing. And I think through it doesn't even have to be particularly well planned out, but you can get to a way you can put systems in place and do certain things as far as like an influence and an online presence where your time becomes exponentially more valuable per everything that you do.
Oh yeah, I
And-
mean, look. So I'll bring up Gary V.
Yep.
Look up Gary V.
Oh, I know Gary. Yeah. I know
He
Gary.
he plans his days out by the minute, and I mean, he has a conversation about this, and he goes everywhere and talks to everyone.
Mhm.
Do you know how much he gets paid to go talk to people?
Nothing.
No.
Oh,
When
are
he
you talking?
goes to colleges to talk
Are
to
you
people,
talking about? Oh, you're.
seminars.
I would imagine a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's up there.
Yeah.
You know how long Gary V's seminars are? Of him actually talking.
No.
15 minutes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He spends 15 minutes talking about himself,
Yeah.
and the next 45 minutes is him answering yes or no questions.
Mm-hmm. And this is kind of, well, I mean, that's an extreme case, but
Well,
when you,
but that's a version of how much is your time? I mean, you're looking at an extreme influencer, but if you're in a band right now and you want to go play a gig, you're getting paid to go entertain someone for 30 minutes or something of that nature. Are you that good that you're worth $250 for 30 minutes? Or are you just trying to get your foot in the door, so you're doing $50 for that 30 minutes?
I guess for me, I'm having like a little bit of hard time tracking with your thought process.
Dude, I know
here.
I jump everywhere.
No. Simply, are you gonna?
Oh yeah, no. Just going through, just to finish that thought out.
Yeah.
It's for someone that's just starting something. Your time is worth little to nothing.
Yes, it's worth nothing for
Yes.
especially in the exponentiality. 100%. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, is worth little to nothing. You
Agreed.
have to find a way to make your time worth it.
Totally. And yeah. And I love that that's where you went with that because
I mean, it's one of those things, and it goes back to a band. You are just started a band yesterday. You went down to the local bar and was like, "Hey, I have a band," and the dude goes, "I will give you $50 for 30 minutes of songs, but you got to sing nothing but covers." You're going to take that $50 for 30 minutes because you just started this band yesterday.
Yep. And you're getting influence. You're building your community.
Yes.
And you're building your following and you're building your I won't say influence yet, but yes, which is a really interesting, this is a really great example, actually, a band.
Yeah.
Because I'll take this a little bit further, or I'll just hijack your story here. But kind of this really same principle is eventually like, their time's not worth much, but the more they get, the more time they put in and the more albums they put out and the more songs and the hits and the more interviews, like they might spend 3 weeks recording an album or whatever it takes. I don't know how long it takes. But they're going to get paid.
So I'll jump off real
of
quick.
that.
Check this. So Post Malone.
Yeah.
Post Malone let's go over his story life real quick. This is hilarious to me. And you want to talk
He's-
about overnight stuff.
He's an interesting human being from the little.
Okay.
Yeah.
Post Malone is from Irving, Texas. I've
Okay.
actually met his dad. His dad looks like a porn star. He has a porn mustache and everything.
Post Malone looks like a porn star.
But Post Malone moved from Irving, Texas to LA and made a music video on YouTube
Yeah.
talking about shorts.
Oh,
And it wasn't even a good music video, dude. It was like,
yeah.
I recorded this with my first my 1999 webcam.
Yep. Kind of like I'm doing right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Laying the footwork or the groundwork. Hopefully.
And then he releases like 8 more songs. Now, given he has talent,
Of course, he's got an
yes,
immense amount of talent.
and that's I mean, he found something he likes to do and he does it.
Yep.
But up until like what 3-4 years ago, no one knew who Post Malone
Totally.
was.
Dude,
But everyone knew the song White Iversons. Everyone knew that song.
Yeah.
Didn't know it was a white boy with dreads not dreads,
cornrows.
cornrows,
Yeah.
but they knew what White Iversons were.
Yeah.
And that's something he played it to his advantage. And
Yep.
now look out, he's doing all sorts of good music and
Yep.
he's everywhere.
And not even just that. Like, I mean, I think that's, a great example because everybody's a nobody until like all these people, you're a nobody until
And
you
I
get discovered.
I hate that word.
What?
You're discovered.
Oh,
You are
yeah.
never discovered. You are always who you are.
Yeah.
It's until people start to take notice.
Yep.
And I mean, even record labels right now are going out of business because a lot of these people are like, I don't want anyone else to take my money. I want to do
Yep.
it myself.
yeah. People are getting
And-
savvy.
Yeah.
I think. Oh shit! Oh crap! I had a thought. It was on Post Malone.
Error.
Well, you wouldn't stop talking. But no, very much. I guess I really just feel like we're going through a really crazy transitional time in the economy in the world, in those two things specifically. And I think that we're ripe. I think we're probably going to be one of the most turmoil that we have seen in our lives and probably in a long
Oh, yeah.
time. But I think that there is an amazing amount of opportunity. And I really do think that, like, dude, I don't
So-
know. And it's funny. It's
So,
funny.
I love how you say opportunity.
Oh, baby. Oh, yeah.
So this is hilarious. And I've had this conversation with other people. Movies, entertainment business. I'll really stick on movies really hard because we have a second Space Jam. What? But I mean, was the first one any good?
No.
Okay.
But it made a lot of money.
Yes.
It made a lot of money.
I mean, they're redoing Dune. So come on. But no, there's not enough entertainers in this world.
Mhm.
Stand-up comedians, actors, real actors. I mean, every movie you see now doesn't really include a new actor. It's all Tom Holland, Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds is everywhere. But I mean, God,
The Rock.
you don't get a whole lot of new entertainment.
Mhm.
And I think that's where a lot of people are missing their opportunities. I
Mhm.
mean, if you can make a group of people laugh for 5 minutes, you probably have a good chance of going up on a stand-up comedy stage and making 500 people laugh for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I mean, there you go. There's a start right there. That I'm just throwing shit out there.
Yeah.
But it's stuff that
Do you want to be a
can do.
comedian? Is that what you're getting at?
Dude, I wanted to for so long, but my jokes, they fall hard into the floor.
You just gotta find your demographic.
They're grenades that just whoop. That one was a dud. Let's go over here.
That's how I think that's how all good comedians start.
Let's pause this for a second. I'm gonna smoke a cigarette
Okay.
and then we'll come back to it.
All right. I'm just gonna honestly, yeah.
I'll flag you down when I get back.
All right. So when are you gonna get your life plan in order?
When I find a place I want to live. There you go.
Dude, okay, so it's funny that you're kind of moving too. And actually you were talking about this before about owning things and you wanted to own things, and we were talking about real estate. Did I tell you about my plan for the real estate?
Other than the fact that you want to get houses.
I don't want to get houses.
Oh, you were saying something. What the hell were you wanting to get?
Mobile home parks.
Yeah, trailer parks.
Yep.
Trailer park king.
Um,
The look's going for you. You got the scruffy beard.
And the mullet.
I'll
Or yeah.
let me pull my 90s hair out.
I know.
I think I do better than you.
Bye. Oh my word.
Here, we'll go a little emo for you.
Oh my little Nicky.
You getting a flask.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Oh, I can't do this. Hold on. Put that back on.
Yeah. Yeah, man, mobile home parks for a lot of reasons, but just one, real estate is great for a ton of reasons. And also mobile home parks, I think one, it is cool. There's a lot of them that you can put that they're not fully filled. So you can actually bring in a lot of houses. So it's value added, but you can this is the only way to do affordable housing, I think, in this country.
Land in general is a good idea for anyone.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's how many times have we heard, I mean, you're from the country, I'm from the country. How many times have we heard, oh, such and such had natural gas found on their land, so
yeah,
some company's paying them a monthly check of X amount of dollars to pump it. I mean, or hey, my land now has a bunch of trees on it that are at 35 years old. I'm gonna cut them all down and do this.
Totally.
I mean,
yeah, the thing that I really like about the mobile home parks is you can just own just the dirt. You don't even have to, you don't own the roads, you don't own the utility lines, you don't own the homes. That's what I really, really like about that investment.
No, the only thing that I ever had issues with, I mean, I grew up in trailer parks, and not gonna lie, I spent a good amount of my life in a trailer park.
I don't think there's I think the stigma around trailer parks is a bunch of bull crap.
It depends. It really does.
I mean, of course, it's the same thing as far as like there are shitty apartment complexes. Just because you live in an apartment complex.
Well, it's your geographic location when it comes. I mean, for you to say trailer park, someone is thinking fifth wheels parked on dirt in the middle of like nowhere.
A trailer, yes, trailer park, yeah. Mobile home park, manufactured. Community, manufactured home community.
No, don't try to French it up, Dirt.
Joe Dirty.
But no, it's the more of like, it's kind of like when you hear of the projects. I mean, where's your mind go? Your mind immediately goes to concrete apartment complex. That's essentially what the projects are to a lot of people. And when you hear trailer park, everyone, I mean, in the media, at the trailer park, and everyone thinks Billy Joe's outside with his video camera. There's a tornado coming. But that's not technically what it is. I mean, you can almost say retirement.
Dude, every 55 and over community, I'm pretty sure, is a mobile home community.
or it's a duplex community.
Oh, I've never seen a duplex community.
Yes, I when I did lawn maintenance and lawn care, and I went to a lot of duplexes that were in a 55 plus area, and it's literally a gated community
Mhm.
that is full of duplexes. And
Interesting.
they have a little bitty hospital, and there's even people that live there that were, it was quote unquote their nursing home.
Oh yeah. Oh, interesting. Yeah. But yeah, so that's my one of my big pushes, and real estate. I'm trying to look a lot into deals, but I'm looking in like the West Coast. I'm so over the West Coast. And there's
Good
a
old
couple,
Portland ruining it.
huh?
Between Portland and California. Good lord.
Portland, California, Seattle. I mean, well, not even that, man. There's no water anywhere. And everything's burning up.
Dude, hearing what Utah's doing right now did you hear about this?
No, I don't watch the news. I try not to.
Well, dude, it was everywhere. Utah is building an extra river, a man-made river, to pull more water out of the Mississippi because they need.
Wait a minute.
more
The
water.
Mississippi does the Mississippi go by Utah?
Is it
No.
Mississippi or
Colorado.
There you go,
Colorado. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm geographically stupid.
Yeah.
Which way is west?
Yeah. Well, well, I mean, dude, we're in trouble. We are in trouble.
I mean, we're running. Dude, we're actually getting rain out here in Vegas, which is very. I mean, last year we went 560 days without rain.
Really?
Yeah.
You went
like-
over a year without rain?
Yep.
I just saw videos of flash flooding. Was it in?
It was in
Reno?
Vegas. Yeah, it was in Nevada or Nevada, whatever you want to say,
Yeah.
and Arizona. Got
Arizona.
hit
That's
hard.
no, it was Arizona because I was just in Arizona.
Yeah, no, that rain that went through Arizona, it came right by my house. I like right now I live right beside the mountain. So but yeah, no, it's crazy that the weather. I mean, what was it? Chicago got a tornado. Was that what I saw?
I don't know, man. Shit's crazy. I want to go somewhere.
I blame you, damn millennials.
Yeah. Right. I'm definitely looking at places to move. I know a lot of people that are looking. Dude, people are going to mass exit the West Coast. I think especially after this summer, because we're about ready to go up in flames all over the place.
Dude,
we already are.
It's making me giggle that, I mean, we're not going to get too deep into politics because everyone votes for who they want. They support who they want. I respect your reason to do that.
Yep.
But the fact that everyone made so much fun of Trump to sit there and go, oh, California needs to go and clean up their forest.
I know.
And everyone look at him like he's stupid. And then next thing you know, okay, go. Next thing you know, Biden's on the TV going, yeah, we're going to fund cleaning up the forest in California to help stop fires.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I know. Like I don't mind getting into it, but it's not recorded.
No, it's fine. But no, there's plenty of just like pause, we need to do this. And then there's other stuff of just like, why do people do certain things? And I think that's one thing we've never touched on is why you would do certain things. Hold on one second.
Yeah, no problem, man.
He wants you to change Salva's diaper.
I got evil looks from everyone.
This is we're
But
building
no,
an empire here.
Yeah. No, that's one thing that I think we've never really touched on, even between me and you, is why people do the certain things they do. And as far as like where does your money go?
Mhm.
Like when you get and I don't ever like saying, hey, here's $500. What do you do with this money? And it's like, you found a $20 bill on the ground. What is your first thing you're going to do with that $20 bill? That's where I'm at, is for $20, it's not a whole lot of money. $20 to us is $5 to the generation before us, and the generation before them, it was $1.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a small amount of money now.
Mhm.
So what do you now do with this money? You found $20 on the ground. What's the first thing you do with it? And a lot of people are like, well, I'm going to go to Taco Bell. I can get a ton of food at Taco Bell for $20. Or I'm going to go hit up the dollar menu at McDonald's. If your number one thing to do with money found on the ground is to spend it on a consumable, then there's something you need to figure out in your life. That's serious. I mean, there was one time and point where, like, cigarettes for me, if I found $20 on the ground, I knew I was buying a pack of cigarettes with it. I knew for a fact a pack of cigarettes and 2 Monsters, that was $20 done. But now if I find $20 on the ground, it's going to sit in my wallet for 3 or 4 weeks, because one, no one really takes cash. Everywhere takes cash, but most of my shopping is done on a computer or on a laptop or something of that nature.
Mhm.
So it's going to sit in my pocket until I find somewhere to spend it, or I forget about it. Dude, I forgot about $50 the other day that's been sitting in my wallet for probably like a month and a half.
Nice.
But I mean, that's one thing you need to reevaluate, is if you found $20 on the ground and your first thought is to buy a consumable, then that means there's somewhere in your life you're not able to have your own money for that consumable.
Mhm.
And that's where you need to start figuring out, how do I either get money for that consumable, or how do I cut that consumable out of my life?
Mm.
And it's the dude that goes, it's the guy on the side of the road that says, hey, I need money for, or will you help me? I want a beer. And it's like, yeah, he wants a beer. He's being dead honest with you. But if you're also that same guy of like, when I get off work, I hope I want to go buy beer, and you get there and it's $4 more than what you have in your account, so you decide to go something lesser because you have to have that beer.
Mhm.
That's where you need to start reevaluating.
Mhm. And I think it's kind of why I think part of this, like what I'm working on, is a lot of like financial advice or gurus or whatever they want deal with the part of the equation of just reducing what you spend. And like, I think there's a lot of foundational things financially, like one, having a budget is absolutely crucial.
Oh yeah,
And
budgets are all, see, my biggest issue with a budget in general is your budget doesn't reflect your impulse. No budget in anywhere that
What do you mean?
you can. Okay,
you don't have, what do you, what do you mean?
like impulse buy. Like, how many times have you went to the grocery store and do you make a list to go to the grocery store? Let's start here. When you go to the grocery store, do you make a list of the items that you're going to get?
Yeah. Yeah.
Vaguely, yeah.
Yes, and I often get more.
Yeah. You also, that's your impulse buy that you're doing. Now,
a budget for you is a budget a restriction of money or a recording of money?
So if you're talking to the average person that hears the word budget,
I'm talking to you.
you're talking to me. Budget for me is where money's going to go.
So this is a predetermined.
Yes, predetermined spot. Now, if I am above or below that budget depends on what I do within the next. If we do it for a week, a weekly budget, it'll decide what I do by Friday, type thing. Like what's left over, what do I have to skimp on Friday?
Mhm.
But I say grocery store because you have people that are very good at this. My wife's very good at this, of going to Walmart with a list and buying every single thing on that list and coming home.
Mhm.
And by that, I mean fluctuation of $10, $15.
Mhm.
We know exactly what that's going to cost us. Now, you also have the person like me that will go to the grocery store with that list. I will buy everything on that list, and then I will also buy
Cigarettes a month.
$40 more of what I was planning on doing.
Uh-huh.
And that's what the thing about a budget is. Yes, you can be very strict on yourself and restrict money usage,
Mhm.
but the impulse buy or the impulse in general, let's just say impulse, because not always is it buying something. Sometimes it's just something that happens.
Slapping your kid.
Yeah. You got that a lot, didn't you?
Oh, you have no idea.
You're holding the flashlight wrong.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I got thunked.
Oh, thunked in the head.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, and believe me, I got those. I got the backhand. The backhand was the worst because you'll sit there and mumble and then just, I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
But
Okay, so your budget thing though.
so when you
So
talk
you don't like
budget-
being restricted. You don't like being restricted, is what you're saying. And
Well,
you don't put in a big enough.
I don't like surprises. Let's say like that. I don't like surprises. And when you talk about budget in general, for someone that's very good at keeping their money in their pocket, it's the perfect thing. But
It's for the people that aren't, it's the most needed thing.
oh no, I'm not saying it's not needed. I think there should be a different way to say budget for the people that need it.
Rebrand it, you mean?
Well, not so much rebrand it, but restructurize
Okay,
a
well, what
budget.
would work for you?
Well, and
Because here's the thing, because I actually, with my schedule, I've been really trying to do my schedule. I try to do it strict, but there's a lot of flexibility in there.
yeah, wiggle
Designed.
room for anyone is what's good. It's the I feel like a fried chicken sandwich money instead of the leftover spaghetti we have at home.
And I think,
That's the money that is needed to be put into a budget that a lot of people don't do.
Yes.
And we talked about this earlier, is like I will schedule out expenses for us is X amount of dollars a week. And then I tack on $200 plus to that week for that budget. And it's not money that needs to be spent.
No,
And-
it's your because I used to do envelopes. I don't know if you've ever done that.
I believe it or not, we did envelopes for a little while.
Mhm. They're great. I
I
mean,
lost them.
oh my god, dude.
Dude, I forgot where I put some of them at one time
Oh
and
my
point.
wonders. Well, anyway, like I had a huge, not huge. And I will say I've always been pretty good with my money.
You are frugal, my sir.
Yeah.
For
Yes.
everyone that's listening, Seth is a frugal person. I am the impulse buyer. So if you if you identify with me going to Walmart and spending $80 extra, you understand.
Yeah.
Seth is very much of going in and out because he doesn't need anything extra in his life.
I try and
He needs a girlfriend.
I do. I'm working on that. I joined a rock climbing gym, which I tell you what, I should have done that years ago. Holy smokes. That's
Seth
where all,
likes looking up.
not just that, that's creepy. But if you're belaying them, you have to.
It's all
But-
about the stretching for Seth.
Stretching is incredibly important. It is incredible. I did squats for the first time yesterday and didn't stretch well enough, and
Dude,
my lower back's hurting me.
Sorry to get off subject, but yeah, no, dude. Yeah, I need to figure out something. My Achilles tendon in my left foot. Oh, it's been so, dude. There's times I get out of bed and I have trouble walking. I have to like walk for
Are your
30
Achilles?
minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder if I got an issue with a tendon or with the tendon itself, or if it's just inflamed.
Well, I mean, if it's inflamed, you still have an issue with the tendon itself. But the tendon is not going to have much of it. I mean, the
Like-
tendon is very rarely, well, okay, I won't say that.
Like I can put my
It's an
weight
indicator-
on the foot,
Yeah.
but the second I go to like lean forward onto my toes, like you know how you take a step like heel, toe,
Mhm.
toe. When I go to toe, yeah, that's not happening.
Generally when something like that, usually the spot that hurts is very rarely the cause of the issue. So I
Yeah.
would look at like your hips generally is a lot of times, your shoes, which your Achilles,
Dude, I wear flip-flops everywhere.
yeah, well,
Seth, you'll be proud. I've embraced my hippiness because I've been in flip-flops and shorts. Dude, this is the second-
nice.
I actually had to put a shirt on for this.
Good for you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So one thing that I've really been working on, which is, and you'll get a chance to read the book when it comes out, but the thing that I've been,
I better get a signed copy.
well, if
Free, my sir?
Yeah.
Free?
you probably will. You will when it comes. And it'll probably be an ebook first because I don't. Well, we'll see. Maybe I will actually get this written and published. But I'm
It'll
not really
be all
planning on it.
handwritten and hand bind it.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. These are valuable notes. This is it. This is actually all my notes. This is the.
Oh
This
my
is-
God.
That's just for exponential income.
You look like an OSHA person.
So what I was gonna say, the thing, at least for me, for my lifestyle design, which maybe you could take a little bit, but health, man. Like I have been prioritizing my health, and sounds like you've got quite a bit of time on your hands there, buddy. It sounds like
Dude,
maybe you've got an
I've
issue or two
actually-
you could address.
I've been looking into getting into the gym again.
Fuck the
And
gym.
dude,
Oh,
well,
it's hot as fucking Hades out there, but you can
yeah, walking, dude.
get up in the morning, go at night.
Dude,
It's so nice to walk there at night.
I love how I
85
can't get
degrees.
a word in.
I know.
Damn.
That's because you're looking for excuses.
no,
I
I
could-
have been walking at night.
Okay, good.
I'll-
Sorry.
I'll- I don't walk too far, but I
Alright.
will get out there and I get my steps in. I got my
Yeah.
little watch here.
Health is wealth, dude. Health is wealth. You said you want your time. Make sure that you got all the time on the back end of your timeline too.
I just need 21 more years, man. 21 more years and I'm good.
Whatever.
Hey, I said the world's going to shit in 30, so I'll exit it beforehand.
Well, I think the world's got longer than that. This country, I don't know. Legit.
Hey, you don't want to upset the people that are this
And we-
country is the best country in the world.
I
'Cause
know.
in most aspects it is. Dude, you get a lot more freedom in the South.
Oh, I mean, I haven't spent a lot of time in the South, but
Well,
I
yeah.
mean, you don't get. Let's be honest here. There's one way to govern that gives you freedom, and one way that doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Well, there's plenty of just craziness out there in the world, and I think that's why a lot of people say it's the greatest country in the world, is because we allow so much, so much.
yeah, that's because that's what this country was founded on. Is like, man, we hate not being able to do all this stuff.
It's
We
like,
want
I
our
hate
guns.
Nazis. All right, cool. You're cool.
Yeah,
I hate that person. Why?
yeah.
But
Um,
no, and that's the other thing is we're getting back on topic
mhm.
is notoriety in general for everyone. I mean, you're trying to do a thing. Technically now we're trying to do a thing with this podcast. I mean, you get 5 people to watch this and
Yep.
someone giggles at it. I think we've done enough. But you get 10 million people that watch us on like a daily, or not a daily, because I'm not doing this shit daily.
Yeah.
But like once a week or something like that.
Mhm.
You get 10 million people doing it and just listen to us, to me berate you and you try to tell me I'm living wrong. But I mean, it's all jokes and everything aside.
Mhm.
There's little bits of knowledge. I mean, we've both been around. I've been around 30 years. You've been around 32. And dude, the internet's only, what was it? I saw it the other day. Internet's only like 18 years old. It's just now legal. Well, no, our version of the internet, the instant access version of the internet.
Okay.
I'm not talking about when we were younger watching or trying to download a special picture for 14 hours.
Totally. And they weren't even that good of pictures. They're just having to restart the download 3 times.
It's like, oh, there's no nipples? What happened to the nipples?
Totally. No,
our version of the internet has now gotten to the point that I spent so much time on the internet just reading stuff. And it's funny because my mother is only 19 years older than I am.
Okay.
So I get calls from her almost daily of, hey, what are you doing? I need help fixing this iPhone. I can't figure out how to get the iPhone to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's my little brother that is 21-year difference than me. It's his phone. And I'm the middleman going, okay, what's Google have to say? I mean, literally, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're at the point now that someone could literally sit at a computer for probably 30 hours. Not please don't do it continuously. That will probably hurt your eyes. Don't do this. This is a service announcement. But for about 30 hours and learn a skill.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be a good skill. I mean, a skill.
Yep.
And doing that will greatly improve any chances of doing anything extra. I mean, you got people that do crypto right now. I don't know if you're into crypto or not.
I dabbled a little bit.
You lost hard, didn't you? You lost.
No, I actually got on to NFTs and realized that cryptos are amazing. NFTs are going to be where the first trillionaires are going to be made.
Well, just money and see, I love how we talk about money. And it used to be cash, cold hard cash. So I mean, it was a piece of paper. Let's get real, people.
Yeah.
Pieces of paper and pieces of metal cut into certain shapes with people's faces on it.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's all on, I'll use this, on a card.
Yep.
It's all on a card. And with it being on a card, no one has the concept of money to the degree that everyone complains about older generations. You could have done this. And we all agree inflation is a thing and the market hasn't kept up with it.
No.
But the older generation used to go to or didn't really have a bank. I mean, I still know people to this day that keeps their money in their mattress. Not under their mattress, in between their mattress. No, in their mattress. There's a slit. It's like a piggy bank. Honey, that roll of 20s gave me one hell of a knot last night. But no, and now you look at the world, it's full of microtransactions. You want to ride the bus that was 25 cents 10 years ago is now $3. And instead of buying or bringing cash or change onto the bus, you have your cell phone. You're like, ding.
Yep.
So this world's full of microtransactions. So where is your microtransaction? That's my question to everyone now is, what is your microtransaction that you can do? I mean, don't go set up a toll bridge in front of your house. God, don't do that. But what's the one microtransaction that you will be available for? Is it, hey, my voice is really deep? I mean, go, dude. Oh, perfect person. Corpse Husband. Do you know who Corpse Husband is?
No.
Oh, dude. Oh my God. This dude, no one's ever seen his face. He's a YouTuber. He has a song with MGK, Machine Gun Kelly. For you, I know you're music stupid sometimes. Has several songs out.
In sync.
Yeah, I'm in sync with music, damn it.
Well, yeah, and your hair.
But no, the dude just has a tremendously low voice. And he started out on YouTube reading scary stories. All he did.
Yeah.
And now he probably makes more money than probably all of Seth's family combined.
Yeah, probably.
And he plays Among Us on YouTube. This little game that blew up. But yeah, I mean, it's just something random he can do. That's his microtransaction. He spends 30 minutes in front of a mic saying, and tonight we are going to try and scare the shit out of Seth. And that's all he does. And he made a living off of a voice. So anyone out there with like a deep ass voice or really, really high voice would probably be cool. We need them in there.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. But I've got, we have talked a lot about money and making a living, but I think, which is probably not the greatest title, the exponential income, but what about, I feel like that's not as important as making a life. And I know that's so like cliche and so just like whatever. But I feel like
okay.
Nowadays, yes, it's great. You can make money if you have, and you can, but like, what are you going to do now? That's the most important.
That's the best part though, is when you get to the point of content. What's next?
So what's next, Mr.?
For me, it's probably going to be going somewhere I want to be. And it may sound very vague.
It is,
but it's, where do you want to be right this moment? Like for me right now, I want to be sitting in this chair talking to my friend and popping jokes, but also talking about life in general. But where you are in life doesn't really have to mean, oh, am I living in this rundown home, or am I still staying at home with mommy and daddy or anything like that? Because in this world today, for a 18-year-old to go live by themselves is a huge, huge achievement. I mean, if you're 18 right
Mistake. I
now,
call that a mistake.
well, no,
I
because
mean, well,
I'll be honest with you. If you're 18 right now, living on your own, making your own dues, making your way, dude, you're doing something that no one else has done in a very long time. Because staying at home with dad and mom, if they'll let you, until you are financially stable, or I mean, some people need a partner. I mean, that's also the next best thing. But if you are able to actually do that, that's probably one of the smartest decisions people can make as of right now. And that's what I mean by where do you want to be? It's in a moment. You don't have to go, hey, in 10 years, I want to be living off the coast of Hawaii, fishing off a sailboat. Because in 10 years, they could probably go, hey, no more fishing off of Hawaii in a sailboat.
yes. But
So where do you want to be in the next hour? Where do you want to be in the next 10 days is what people need to look more towards. Like me in the next 10 days, where do I want to be? I probably want to be hanging out with my kids at a water park or going to a bounce castle or something of that nature. I want to be spending time with my family in the next 10 days. In the next 12 hours, I'm probably going to be somewhere where I don't want to be, where I'm sitting there looking at spreadsheets for 3 hours. But it's the 3 hours I give up for that. In 10 days, I spend the next 16 hours with my kids.
Mhm.
And that's where you need to look at of where do you want to be is no longer, hey, I love that interview question. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Yeah. And that's not at all what I'm trying to get at. And I don't think that that's
fair to say to you.
uh-huh.
I said fair to say to you.
I think it's not even a very good way of going about things. As far as setting goals, I think is kind of a
Goal
dangerous prospect. Hold on, let me finish my thoughts. I think that like having specific plans, goals can be good, but only for, I think, shorter, very next steps. And kind of where I've been trying to look at and kind of get to is more of like an aspiration of what you actually want your life to look at. And I like aspirations because it's not specific, particularly. Like there's a very good, like, okay, I want to be financially free, healthy, have a great partner, be in a comfortable place, living with a good community. But I think that, and I think being present is super important, but I also think that humans are made for progress. And I really think that that is one of the things that our generation, that our generation is kind of realizing and coming to, because you're like, hey, we're not motivated by money. And I think that's really true. Obviously we have to, but we are motivated by other things. And motivated is motivated is not the word that I want to use there, because I think motivation is also a chase, misleading thing.
There's very much a chase, or cat and mouse, as you would say it. Mm-hmm. Because the goal that, and I will use the word goal for this, the goals that everyone had, yeah, I mean, before COVID, I mean, you had a lot of people that were just like, oh, I'm working at this job, I'm going to work at this job, and they'll give me a raise, and then I'll be able to do this and go about that. And a lot of those jobs that shut down, or the people that own their own business, that just couldn't stay above the water during COVID, it was a kick in the head to a
Mhm,
lot of people and a lot of their goals.
mhm.
And being financially stable is a thing. And I like the word motivation, but it's more what do you chase?
Mhm.
What's the one thing that you need in your life? And that's what you need to start thinking about in general. Like the one thing I need in my life is my family. My family is my need.
Mhm.
But if money is your number one, I need this in your life, in my life, then there's millions and millions of ways that are out there now, and you can be the millionth and first way to make a living.
Mhm.
But what's the one object? Not I don't like the word object, but what's the one necessity that just eludes you at all given times? Is it your mental health? Is
Phys-
it yeah,
Physical
'cause
health.
your physical health? I mean, are you plagued by overweight? I know I am, but I've come to terms with my weight.
What does that mean?
No body shaming, sir.
I'm not. I'm just curious as to what that
Love
means.
thyself.
Yeah, I do. Well, okay. And I only say that because you actually didn't even know me when I was, I mean, you met me when I was probably 20 pounds heavier than I am now, but you didn't meet me when I was heavy.
No, I didn't get
Unhealthy.
to meet the fun drinking Seth.
No, you didn't.
Bastard.
I know, and you
I got the
unfortunately.
hippie. I
No,
eat
you
granola for
unfortunately you got
lunch.
the business. You got the business, Seth, because I had to be your boss. You got the unfun.
How'd that work out for you?
This is great. I mean, yeah.
I mean, look at us both now. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
we're over that.
Yeah. I don't even know. You keep interrupting me, so I don't even know what the hell I was talking about.
This is Seth's brain. Seth's brain.
This is Seth's brain with Chris Kelly in
Oh,
front of him.
dude, I told you I'm personality, man. I'll keep you off subject.
He will for quite a while. Oh yeah, we were talking about
Where
you were talking about your needs, and I guess yeah, interesting. We should probably wrap this up. I'm getting a little fuzzy. I've been staring at a screen. This is my second video I've shot today, so I'm like,
at
a screen for a while.
Catch Seth on OnlyFans.
No, I did the recording of my plan for income right before this, which was
okay.
Which also took a lot of prep work beforehand. I would need to get better at writing
I'm
my
about to order
scripts.
some Uber.
I know, and I haven't
hungry.
eaten today. I'm getting hungry. I should have eaten.
You just had ice cream.
I had to munch on something. But anyway,
yeah, let's bring it to a close. And I mean, we can pick this up on another time, but
yeah, absolutely.
I'll leave it this. I mean, where you want to be in life, first you need to figure out what you need out of life. And for everyone that struggles with money and or mental health has been a big thing that's been plaguing a lot of people as of lately. I mean, myself, I went through a little bit of depression myself, and just not knowing what I need or want. But it's that mental health day. It's that day to talk to someone, or I mean, hell, Seth writes everything down. Write it down.
Mm-hmm.
But it's to find your needs of. Yeah, we all know money is going to be on top of everyone's list. But what's after that? And the thing that's after that is probably the thing that needs to be before money.
You want to see this? It's funny that I have this. I mean, this is literally my entire list of priorities. And number one is health. Oh, let's see if you can. Oh, you can't. It's health, mental, and physical is number one. So it's just funny that you said write them down because they are. And this would, okay, I sorry to kind of cut you off, but I know
Oh, you're good. You're good. That's
Um,
pretty much all I had to say is like,
I agree, but you said something there that like, about figuring out what you want, and I actually think that that right there is like such a massively huge thing that a lot of people don't ever spend the time to do. So I'm gonna leave it at this. Like I would, if you could help me out, because this is honestly like step one in the whole process of this is like, I don't think that very many people ever stop and do what you were just kind of saying is like, okay, what do you need and want out of life, but not in some like fanciful way. Although I think that's a great way to start. I think that your daydreams are literally your
oh yeah, because
mind's
everyone
eye.
wants a Ferrari at some point, but I'll take an Audi A6 any day of the week.
Well, and I would say like dive into like, okay, but dive into those. And so what I would, I guess what I'll challenge you, and feel free to come up with a challenge for me, but like I would challenge you to start trying to actually quantify these things, because I think that a lot of people are unfulfilled because they have nothing real to achieve and to motivate them, because it's like, why would you don't, a lot of people aren't motivated because they have nothing worth motivating themselves for. But if you actually have, like, for me, what I found, if I have a list of priorities and a plan for it, like in just kind of recently, it's like I actually wake up excited because I was like, oh shit, I get to make progress on this thing today.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
All right, I'll do that. I have something for you though.
okay.
And I really love this analogy. Is everyone talks about getting to the mountaintop. All right.
You've got to look at my outline again, but yes,
Yeah.
because a big part of it is the climb.
Yeah. The climb to the mountaintop. Where's your footholds? All that. My question is, when you get to the top of the mountain, where do you start climbing down? Because we all know the top of the mountain is going to be financial stability.
Oh.
Everything's taken care of. Where's your first step to you? Because you've already achieved this. It's your achievement of like, oh, hey, top of my mountaintop for today is not to eat 3,000 calories, only eat 5,000 or 500, whatever. Okay, you achieved that. What's the step down? How do you get to your next mountain? Because first you got to climb down the first one you made. So once you're at the top of that mountain, what's the next step?
So,
and it's your own little come up and go down, because we all hit achievements. And I always hear rock bottom is I've hit rock bottom. It's the worst place in the world. Rock bottom to me is the best place to start. On the floor is better to start than being in the clouds. So where do you go from there? What's your climb? Because we know your climb up. Your climb's going to be this. You already have your climb. What happens after that climb?
And actually, I mean, that is such a good topic for a whole nother thing, because I think what you're getting at is actually like one of these huge chapters in the book, which I call the conquer. And for me, I think which has to do with kind of building pyramids or mountains or whatever, however you want to look at them. But like, yeah, the process of first the wander is kind of figuring out what you want to do. And then I call it the climb, which is like you're actually putting together these pyramids, but we can work on the analogies. But then it is like, okay, once you get to the top, then what? Because that's kind of one of those problems, I think, with goals and end goals is what the fuck happens when you get there. And it's devastating. I've been there. It is devastating.
Well, it's one of those things
times.
of, I mean, let's put it into the sense of someone is planning, someone wants to buy a brand new computer, and their save goal for that computer for the next 6 weeks is $10 a day, whatever it
Yep.
comes out to, right? They have the money. They buy the computer. What's next?
Yep. And
What-
so
what-
here's here's actually the thing, and I would love to end on this because I think it would be a fantastic place to start, because honestly, with this whole thing, this whole exponential income, the whole book is a perspective that I'm trying to sell. If you want to put it this way, I'm trying to sell a perspective, and it has to do very much with what you're talking about as far as looking at kind of this overall arching thing. And a whole part of this I'm calling the conquer, because it is exactly what do you do when you have achieved these goals. And I think what has really helped for me, and it's taken me a really long time to visualize this, and I'm still very much trying to put it together, but realizing that one, you don't just have to build one of these pyramids at a time. Like, you don't just have to focus on one of them. And then two, it's always a continuing process. So it's like, once you have already conquered this climb, once you've already put all of these in place and everything is ready to go, it's like, okay, this is now a building block for another pyramid. It can be standalone, but can also be like, okay, so this was just like the next step in the process. And that's why I think it's incredibly important to look at this from a standpoint of one, where am I trying to get? But two, also the actual point of this is enjoying the process, not just getting to the top, because I think this can be absolutely devastating and is one of the problems with goals, and is one of these perspective shifts as far as like, no, let's look at this a lot differently. Like, you don't just have to get to the top and be like, oh fuck, what next? It's like, good, awesome, this one is done. I've got another one I'm working on over here, and this one is ready to go because it already fits into my other plan, my bigger plan, because I had an aspiration and I've already broken it down into these little steps. And this was the little step that I was working on right now, and boom, done. But I already have my plan in place, my aspirations, and it's like, good, great. Now I get to go back to the wander, which is one of the 3 parts, and get to figure out what the fuck I'm going to do. So it's a whole kind of a process of building this whole ideal world already, trying to honestly kind of avoid this devastating what the fuck next, because it's like,
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
yeah, no, I've got, because it's not a next, it's not a linear path. You get to build these things at the same time, and one day you get to focus on this kind of, I call them pyramids. I'd love to figure out a better analogy, but you get to work on this pyramid today, which is another part of your aspirations. But you're to start with a plan of what you actually want, but also understanding a huge part of that process is the wander of walking around and figuring out what's kind of next and enjoying what you've built. So kind of the whole point of this is to not have to be like, fuck, what's next? But
Exactly.
being a continuing process. So
Well, we will pick this up on next one.
yeah,
Let's
for
see
sure,
what
my
we
dude.
can come out with.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. Dude, thanks for your time. Thanks for listening to me ramble and getting my ideas figured out, because that's what that is literally what a lot of this is like, being able to bounce ideas with people and try to like get a coherent thought, because I think a lot of people kind of are talking and are wanting the same thing.
Yeah.
So
We'll do this again. Like I said, we'll talk more on it and we'll get there.
yeah.
Hi to anyone that's actually listening or
Yeah.
have made it this far.
Yeah, like this is a pretty long one.
But all right, well, yeah, we'll pick this up on another one. I'm going to go find some food.
Yeah, me too, my man. It was a pleasure. I look forward to the next time.
All right, bye.
All right, peace, dude.
Later.